The Money in the Bank is one of the most exciting concepts in WWE when executed right. A contract that grants wrestlers a guaranteed shot at winning the world championship of their respective brands. A contract that changes their careers, promoting the winner to main event status. A concept that in the past year has created top moments to be remembered in WWE history. So the big question is, who will be the next Money in the Bank winners? So far we have one confirmed contestant and we have two confirmed qualifying matches that are coming up in the next few weeks. Jey Uso is the first contestant of the Money in the Bank match, and we have another triple threat match that's on the way with Tama Tonga, Randy Orton, and Carmelo Hayes. And we had another qualifying triple threat match between Chad Gable, Braun Strowman, and Bronson Reed before Gable got possibly wiped off the earth by Wyatt Six. So since we're on the topic of the possible contestants that could be in the match, let's start off hot with somebody who could be the favorite to win the entire thing, Jey Uso. In my opinion, I'm a very big fan of Jey Uso becoming the Money in the Bank winner because he is so over with the fans. I mean, he has the charisma to be the champion. He isn't the best in the ring, but he's average at best. But I feel like he covers it with every other aspect of his character, so his in-ring work can improve within time. He has been one of the MVPs of WWE, and his segments are just a vibe. And every time he's on TV, the overall feeling in the arena shifts. He has that aura that transcends him into becoming a future main eventer, and the Money in the Bank contract could help push that agenda. Gunther is most likely to be the World Heavyweight Champion after SummerSlam, and he has some history with Jey Uso. Jey Uso was one of those wrestlers who was very close to beating Gunther for his Intercontinental Championship if it wasn't for outside interference, so cashing it in on the person he wasn't able to finish the job on the first time would be poetic for him. If Damian Priest actually has a longer reign, then it will still make sense for Jey Uso since they have history as well, facing each other at Backlash, in which Judgment Day ruined the match with outside interferences. Jey Uso has a high chance of becoming Mr. Yi in the Bank, and I don't think many people will be opposed to the idea. My only problem with Jey Uso winning the Money in the Bank, if WWE is planning to go the route of the Bloodline Civil War storyline, then Jey needs to be a part of that. He can join his family in helping take out the new Bloodline, reuniting with Roman and his brother Jimmy to take out Solo and his crew. Jey winning the Money in the Bank match would just hold the briefcase hostage, as his main focus will be on family over the World Heavyweight Championship. He would be a great choice as the winner, but I believe he has bigger things to participate in for the remainder of the 2024. The next possible winner could be Carmelo Hayes. The presentation of Melo has been a thing of beauty so far in WWE. He has been marketed as one of the top attractions of the company since debuting and has already had a match with Cody Rhodes to back that up. The company has major stocks in him becoming huge, and there is no doubt that he can achieve that. If you want to create new stars for the future, you book somebody like Melo to win the Money in the Bank to solidify their positioning on the card. Right now, he's the middleman of the storyline between Logan Paul and LA Knight, and he feels like he's in the middle of the pack in terms of positioning on the card. He isn't the best on the mic, as he lacks that delivery in his promos to really sell his character. In my opinion, I like entertaining people who win the Money in the Bank, so Carmelo Hayes is not really great in the entertaining factor, but he's great in the in-ring aspect. So I think in order to become the Money in the Bank winner, he needs to really improve his game on the mic, because you need to sell a rivalry, you need to sell your character, and I don't think Melo is doing the best job at doing that. You can feel the confidence behind his character, that he really believes that he's him. But the last thing we need is another Money in the Bank winner who isn't the best on the mic. Melo has most of the tools to become a major player for the future, and winning the briefcase can help push that further. The argument against Melo could be that he shouldn't be pushed to the top so quickly and should simmer in the mid-card division first. He could dabble in the US championship scene and make it feel special to go after that title. I think Logan Paul would drop the title to LA Knight at SummerSlam, and Melo will be one of those heels gunning for his spot. Now the possible dark horse winner could be, now hear me out, Akira Tozawa. This man is a megastar, an icon, the most must-see wrestler in 2024. Let me stop. My actual dark horse is Bron Breakker. He has been a wrecking machine since debuting on the main roster, and I believe he will be the type to wreck his way into the Money in the Bank match. Who says no to having Bron Breakker in the Money in the Bank match spearing everyone out of their shoes? He has main eventer written all over him, and I wouldn't be mad at him becoming world champion in the next 2 years. He has the charisma and the in-ring work to have an entertaining run with the briefcase. Imagine you finish a grueling match with your opponent and you finally became champion after a long ass journey, and then you hear Bron Breakker's music hit. I'm really gonna shit the title right there, because I'm not about to get speared by Bron Breakker after having a 25-minute grueling matchup with Ilja Dragunov to win the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm just not taking it. You could have the title. I don't want it no more. The argument against Braun Breaker will be that on the last episode of Raw, he claimed that he wanted to go after the Intercontinental Championship, so that could mean that his sight isn't on the big goal just yet. Braun Breaker starting as an Intercontinental Champion will be great because he could have easily been plugged into the main event scene, and I don't think people would have batted an eye. We need more main eventers going after mid-card titles to make them feel like they have some value as well. Now let's move on to the women's section of the Money in the Bank. Tiffany Stratton is my favorite to win the Money in the Bank match. She has been pushed straight off the gate and has the potential to be one of the greatest women wrestlers in the division. She already had a shot at the championship in a match at Backlash, and she was extremely impressive. She has the confidence to carry her far in this company, and she has the talent to back this up. Her moveset is diverse, and her character works perfectly with the concept. In my opinion, her voice is annoying as hell, but she's not bad on the stick and knows how to garner a reaction from the crowd. She hasn't been appearing in important segments as of late, as she has been showing up for either 10 seconds backstage or on commentary, but one thing you can't deny is that she is still one of the most over acts in WWE. I don't know what argument will be against her becoming the Money in the Bank winner, because she seems like the most realistic prediction out of everyone else on the roster. They have been teasing a tag team formation between her and Nia Jax, so I don't know if they're planning for her to participate in the tag team division instead, but I'll be interested in that if I'm being honest. I think a team between Tiffany and Nia Jax could bring so much needed star power to the tag team division, but they would need to book the titles in a better way in order for people to care about the pairing in the first place. The next possible winner is Lyra Valkyria. She has been impressive since getting her first run on the main roster, having some great matches with the top wrestlers in the division. She has done enough for me to know that she will be huge in the future. She already got the rub from Becky Lynch back when they had that match in NXT, and I think WWE is making the right decision when investing in her character. She doesn't have the presence on the mic to really make her run all that interesting, but she does have the in-ring talent to give her an opportunity. She can always improve on the stick and improve her confidence when talking in front of a large audience with consistent reps. The argument against Lyra is that she just debuted recently, so pushing her this fast will be like a slap to the face to those who have worked so hard for so long. I would agree with that if the woman had another title to fight for. Lyra could have easily been going after a mid-card title, but there is no mid-card title, so Lyra going for the Money in the Bank is, come on, it's realistic. She's been building up her momentum. You're gonna have her have more meaningless mid-card fights. Like, nah, put her to the top. She could benefit from being catapulted to the top and for sure be looked at as a main eventer. Lyra has the tools to carry a division, and winning the Money in the Bank can light the fire under her momentum. My dark horse to win the Money in the Bank is Shayna Baszler. I know, you probably thought I was going to say Chelsea Green, but I have my reasons as to why I don't believe she will become the Money in the Bank winner. Chelsea Green is a comedy act, and she has no real believability to become a world champion. If she was to win the Money in the Bank, she wouldn't even be considered a possible threat to win the championship. And if she was to cash in and win the championship, I don't think she would have the longest reign, because come on, we can't just expect Chelsea Green to become a 5-star machine and take her seriously after eating pin after pin after pin after pin. Shayna Baszler has been having the worst run on the main roster, as they have absolutely killed the believability behind her character. There was a point in time where Baszler was one of the most dominant women in the company, destroying everyone in her path, and her background gave her credibility of being a believable threat in the division. Now she's just another wrestler on the roster who is rotting away in a tag team that doesn't benefit anyone. Her winning the Money in the Bank could actually bring interest in her character that she has been lacking for a very long time. The argument against her can be that she isn't interesting enough to be a briefcase holder, and I agree. She doesn't have the best presence when she's in the ring like Bianca Belair or Becky Lynch, but in NXT her aura was undeniable. I think I'm just coping as a fan of hers. I just can't believe how badly she got massacred in the main roster. It all started so good but fell off a cliff ever since. I'm going to throw in one more person for the men's side, and that is Ilja Dragunov. The Mad Dragon could be one of the scariest people to watch out for when you're a champion. Like I stated earlier in the video, Gunther could possibly be the world champion, and these two go way back, so they can revisit that history. I think Ilja Dragunov is the type of person to let Gunther know that he's cashing in his briefcase to have an official guaranteed match at whatever the next PLE is. I'm not a fan of honorable cash-ins, so I would prefer for Ilja Dragunov to run into the ring and beat the living hell out of Gunther to win the World Heavyweight Championship. This is why I'm not a fan of good guys being the Money in the Bank winner, because you know they're not the type to cash in with the element of surprise, and the Money in the Bank is all about guessing when and where to keep you on your toes. I've seen people say that they want Io Sky to win the Money in the Bank again, but I don't think having a wrestler win twice in a row is the best outcome. You are actively taking away an opportunity for someone else, so I wouldn't be a fan of that. Io Sky has already had her moment and her cash-in was booked to perfection. She's a great addition to the Money in the Bank match, but she doesn't need to win it 2 years in a row. I prefer for people who have never won a world championship to participate in the match, but if the story is right and it makes sense, I will be fine with a former champion winning it as well. The Money in the Bank overall just needs to be booked right this year because it got really bad multiple times throughout the previous year. The Money in the Bank this year isn't as unpredictable as last year, but I believe the winner will be 10 times better than what we got last year. This PLE has the potential to be one of the best of the year, and I couldn't be more excited.